In this video, I would like to introduce you to the concept of a subsidy, which is also a type of government intervention on the marketplace. However, the effects are going to be different than what we discussed in the case of taxes. So with that being said, let's start discussing it. The effect of a subsidy, or let's say a subsidy itself, is a help, a financial aid from the government that has the aim to reduce the cost of production for suppliers. And the reason being is that the government considers that certain products have to be cheaper on the market so that more people can afford buying them. Things like agriculture products that most people use on a daily basis and most people rely on them for the majority of their food intake. So therefore, the government would like that all the social classes in a given economy to benefit from those products and to buy them cheaper. Now, graphically, I would like to show what happens. So let's start from the beginning. Suppose we have the demand curve represented by this blue line and the original supply curve represented by this purple line. As always, we have an initial equilibrium shown by this white dot, so with the corresponding equilibrium price and a corresponding equilibrium quantity. Now, the subsidy, as we said, reduces the cost of production for the suppliers, meaning that the supply curve shifts down by the subsidy amount, which I show by this orange curve over here, and the difference between those two lines is going to be the amount of the subsidy. Hope this makes sense. Now, with that being said, let's see what happens on the marketplace in terms of prices and quantities. The new intersection between the supply curve after the subsidy and the demand curve is going to be this yellow dot over here, which represents the quantity supplied on the market after the subsidy, which I called it as QS, and the price that customers pay after the subsidy. Remember one more time, the whole intention is for people, consumers, to pay less for the same products. So therefore, we can see that consumers are paying less than the equilibrium price that used to be initially. Now, given that this is our price that customers are paying, we have to keep in mind that this is not all the money that firms are getting, because the firm is being subsidized, meaning it receives financial aid from the government. So the firm gets this price that consumers are paying plus the amount of subsidy. This is the amount of subsidy over here. So including the subsidy, the price that firm receives is going to be over here. This is the price that the firm actually gets to receive after the subsidy for all the quantity that is subsidized on the market, which again is represented by QS. With that being said, let's discuss what is the effect of the subsidy on the producers. So what do producers make? Producers make revenue. Let's see what the differences in revenue are. Well, initially they used to make price in equilibrium multiplied with quantity in equilibrium. That would be their revenue before subsidy. So total revenue for producers before subsidy, okay, I'm just gonna say before subsidy, was equal to PE multiplied with QE. Graphically, that's going to be the area of this rectangle over here. Now, after the subsidy, we can see that the price, or let's say the price that the firm receives, is going to be PFS. That's what we discussed, right? It's going to be over here, and the quantity that they're going to sell is going to be QS. So we can see they actually get to sell more, and also they receive a higher price overall. So that means the total revenue, let me change colors real fast, the total revenue after the subsidy is going to be equal to price that the firms receive after the subsidy times the quantity that's being sold after the subsidy. So we can see that the total revenue now is this blue rectangle that I'm shading over here, the entire blue one, okay? Meaning that it includes the white one that was originally plus this additional area. So I'm shading the additional area. This is how much the total revenue changes for the producers. So to sum up, the revenue for the producer increases by the blue area on the graph. Hope this all makes sense. I appreciate you all watching. If you like the video, please make sure to subscribe, and in the next video we're going to discuss what is the effect of the subsidy on the consumers, and we are done.